I'm about to tell you something your doctor probably never mentioned. You know how everyone's been calling you hormone imbalanced? Like that's your new identity. Oh, she's just hormone imbalanced. Here's the truth they're not telling you. You're not imbalanced. You're transitioning. And that one word, that one shift in perspective, changes everything about how you navigate the next decade of your life. Ready to know what's really going on with your hormones? Because once you understand this, you'll never see menopause the same way again. Let's go. Okay, so here's what makes me absolutely furious. The way doctors talk about menopause and hormones, it's like they're diagnosing you with a disease. Like something's wrong with you that needs to be fixed. Your hormones are declining. You have a hormone deficiency. You're estrogen deficient. Can we just stop for a second? You're not deficient. You're not broken. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do at this stage of life. It's not a malfunction. It's a redesign. But because we've been taught to see declining hormones as a problem, we've completely missed what's actually happening and what your doctor isn't telling you. That's what we're diving into today. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't subscribed yet, this is the one. This is the video that's going to make you say, "Finally, someone's telling me the truth." Hit that subscribe button and join the Phoenix community, because we're about to blow your mind. Let me start by asking you something. What do you actually know about hormones? Probably something like, estrogen and progesterone drop during menopause. That causes symptoms. Maybe I should take hormone replacement therapy. That's what most people know. And it's not wrong. But it's incomplete. It's like knowing the alphabet without understanding that letters make words. Words make sentences. And sentences tell stories. You've got the alphabet. I'm about to give you the whole story. Hidden truth number 1. Your body isn't losing hormones, it's redistributing them. Everyone talks about hormone decline, like it's this tragic loss, like your ovaries just give up and leave you high and dry. That's not what's happening. Here's the truth. Your ovaries are producing less estrogen and progesterone. That part is true. But your body doesn't just stop making hormones. It shifts production to other places. Your adrenal glands, they start producing more DHEA and small amounts of estrogen and progesterone. They become your backup hormone factory. Your fat cells, they actually produce estrogen. That's why your body shifts fat to your belly during menopause. It's creating an estrogen production facility. Your body is literally trying to help you maintain hormone levels. Your brain? It starts producing neurosteroids, hormones made inside your brain that affect mood, memory, and stress response. These are different from ovarian hormones but serve similar protective functions. Your muscles. Even your muscle tissue can produce small amounts of hormones when you strength train. This is why building muscle during menopause is so critical. So you're not becoming hormone-less. You're becoming hormone different. Your body is transitioning from ovarian hormone production to whole body hormone production. It's like going from a centralized factory to a distributed network. The factory, your ovaries, is scaling down. But the network, your adrenals, fat cells, brain, muscles, is ramping up. The problem? This transition takes time, and during that time, usually 4 to 10 years. Production is chaotic. Some days you've got plenty, other days you're running on fumes, some hours you're producing too much, then crashing too low. That's not deficiency. That's reorganization. And if you support your body, during this reorganization, instead of just trying to replace what you've lost, the outcome is completely different. You work with the transition instead of fighting against it. You support your adrenals, you maintain healthy body composition, you optimize brain function, you build muscle. That's a completely different approach than just saying, I'm deficient, give me hormones. Hidden truth. Number 2. Estrogen isn't one hormone, it's 3. Okay, this is the one that blew my mind when I learned it. When your doctor says estrogen, they're talking about it like it's one thing. But estrogen is actually 3 different hormones. And they do completely different things. Estradiol, or E2. This is the one everyone knows about. It's your dominant estrogen during reproductive years. It's what drives your menstrual cycle, supports bone density, keeps your skin plump and elastic, regulates mood and cognitive function. This is the one that drops the most during menopause, sometimes by 70 to 90%. Estrone, or E1. This is your postmenopausal estrogen. Your fat cells produce this one. It's weaker than estradiol, about 10 times weaker, but it still provides some estrogenic effects. This is why women with more body fat often have fewer severe menopause symptoms. They're producing more estrone. Your body is smart like that. Estriol, or E3. This is the forgotten estrogen. It's produced mainly during pregnancy, but your body makes small amounts all the time. It's the gentlest estrogen. It supports vaginal tissue, urinary tract health, and skin without the stronger effects of estradiol. It doesn't increase cancer risk the way estradiol can. Now here's what's wild. Most hormone replacement therapy only gives you estradiol G or E2 or a synthetic version of it. But your body naturally shifts toward estrone, or E1, and estriol, or E3, after menopause. So when you take HRT that's only E2, you're basically telling your body, no, don't transition. Stay where you were. Sometimes that's appropriate. Sometimes it's necessary, but it's not the only option. And most doctors never explain this. There's actually something called triest or triestrogen therapy that includes all 3 estrogens in ratios that mimic what your body naturally produces after menopause. But most conventional doctors don't prescribe it because they're not trained in it. This is why working with a menopause specialist or functional medicine doctor can be so valuable. They understand these nuances. Hidden truth. 3. Progesterone does way more than balance estrogen. Everyone talks about progesterone like it's just estrogen's sidekick. Oh, you need progesterone to balance your estrogen. That's so reductive it makes me want to scream. Progesterone is a powerhouse hormone in its own right. And what it does has nothing to do with estrogen. Listen to what progesterone actually does. Progesterone converts to allopregnanolone in your brain, a neurosteroid that acts like a natural anti-anxiety medication. It's as powerful as some prescription anti-anxiety drugs. It supports GABA production, your brain's calm-down neurotransmitter. Without enough GABA, you're anxious, can't relax, can't sleep. It protects your brain cells from damage and supports neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to heal and adapt. It supports thyroid function by sensitizing thyroid receptors. Without enough progesterone, your thyroid hormones can't work properly even if your levels are normal. It helps build bone density by stimulating osteoblasts, the cells that build bone. Estrogen prevents bone loss, but progesterone actually builds new bone. It regulates immune function and has anti-inflammatory effects throughout your body. It supports sleep architecture, specifically deep sleep. This is why insomnia is often the first symptom of perimenopause. So when progesterone drops during perimenopause, which happens first, before estrogen, you lose all of that. That's why anxiety is often the first symptom of perimenopause. Not hot flashes, anxiety. Because you're losing your natural anti-anxiety hormone. That's why sleep disruption happens years before your period stops. Because you're losing the hormone that supports deep sleep. And here's what makes me mad. Most doctors don't check progesterone levels. They just test estrogen, maybe testosterone, call it a day. But progesterone deficiency is often driving the symptoms you're experiencing. And it's completely treatable, both with lifestyle support and with bioidentical progesterone if needed. Hidden truth. 4. Testosterone isn't just a male hormone. Okay, let's talk about the hormone nobody mentions. Testosterone. Women produce testosterone. Not as much as men, but we produce it, and it's critical. Testosterone affects so many things. Libido, obviously, but not just sex drive, arousal, sensation, orgasm, the whole experience, motivation and drive, that feeling of, I want to do something, that spark, that fire, muscle mass and strength. Testosterone signals your body to build and maintain muscle, bone density. Testosterone supports bone strength just like estrogen and progesterone. Mood and confidence. Testosterone affects assertiveness, self-assurance, the ability to stand up for yourself. Mental clarity and focus. Testosterone supports cognitive function, decision-making, and concentration. Energy levels, not jittery energy. Deep, sustained vitality. And guess what happens during menopause? Testosterone declines too, sometimes by 50% or more. So when you feel like you've lost your spark, when you can't muster the motivation to do things you used to love, when you feel like you're just going through the motions, when you look at your to-do list and feel nothing, that might not be estrogen, that might be testosterone. But most doctors don't test it. And when they do, they compare your levels to normal ranges that were established using data from 20-year-olds or from reference ranges designed for men. So you might be told your testosterone is fine when it's actually half of what it should be for optimal function at your age. And here's another thing. Birth control pills tank testosterone. They increase sex hormone binding globulin, which binds up your free testosterone and makes it unavailable. So if you've been on birth control for years and you're feeling this way, that might be part of it. This is the stuff they don't tell you, and it matters. Hidden truth. 5. Your thyroid and sex hormones are connected. This following information can be very helpful to discuss with your physician, who can prescribe and guide you about what is appropriate for your case. Never self-medicated, even with supplements. Here's the connection almost nobody explains. Your thyroid hormones and your sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, work together. They're in constant communication. Estrogen helps activate your thyroid hormones. It helps convert T4, which is the inactive thyroid hormone, to T3, which is the active thyroid hormone that your cells actually use. So when estrogen drops, your thyroid function can slow down, even if your thyroid is fine. This is why so many women develop subclinical hypothyroidism during menopause. Their thyroid is working okay. Their TSH looks normal. But they're exhausted, gaining weight, can't think straight, losing hair, have dry skin, cold hands and feet. The problem isn't their thyroid. The problem is that declining estrogen is affecting thyroid hormone activation. And most doctors just test TSH and say, your thyroid is fine, and send you home. But TSH is not enough. It's like checking your gas tank and assuming your engine is fine. They should be testing TSH. But optimal is 0.5 to 2.5, not the lab range of 0.5 to 5.0. Free T3, the active form that your cells actually use. Free T4, the inactive form that needs to be converted. Reverse T3, the brake on thyroid function that increases with stress. Thyroid antibodies. TPO and TG antibodies to check for autoimmune thyroid disease. Because the whole picture matters, not just TSH. Also, high cortisol from chronic stress blocks thyroid hormone receptors. So even if your hormones are being produced and converted properly, stress can stop them from working. And guess what increases during menopause? Stress. Because your stress buffering system, estrogen and progesterone, is declining. It's all connected. Everything affects everything else. Hidden truth, verse 6, you're not just hormone imbalanced. Okay, this is the one that makes me the most upset. The way doctors, the way society talks about women during menopause. It's like your hormones are the only thing that matters. Like you've been reduced to a walking hormone imbalance. Like your entire personality, your intelligence, your wisdom, your identity has been erased and replaced with menopausal woman. Oh, she's irritable. Hormones. She forgot something. Hormones. She's not interested in sex. Hormones. She's making a career change. Hormones. She's setting boundaries. Hormones. And yeah, hormones are involved. But you are not just your hormones. You're a complex, multifaceted human being who happens to be going through a biological transition. Your thoughts still matter. Your feelings are still valid. Your experiences are still real. Your wisdom has been growing for decades. You're not broken. You're not deficient. You're not less than. You're you, going through a change. And that change deserves to be supported, not pathologized. When you set a boundary that you wouldn't have set 10 years ago, that's not hormones making you unreasonable. That's wisdom. That's clarity. That's you finally knowing your worth. When you question choices you made decades ago, that's not hormones making you unstable. That's growth. That's evolution. That's you becoming more yourself, not less. When you prioritize your own needs for once, that's not hormones making you selfish. That's health. That's necessary. That's you finally understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. Don't let anyone, including your doctor, reduce you to a lab report. You are so much more than your hormone levels. Solution number 1, the hormone support smoothie. Now, let's talk about what you can actually do with this information, because understanding the hidden truths is one thing, but you still need tools. Your body needs specific nutrients to produce hormones, even in this transitional phase, especially in this transitional phase. Here's the daily smoothie that supports hormone production. The Phoenix Hormone Reset. Smoothie. 1 cup unsweetened almond milk, or milk of your choice, ½ cup frozen berries. Antioxidants support cellular health and reduce inflammation. 1 scoop plant-based protein powder. Amino acids are hormone-building blocks. 1 tablespoon ground flaxseed. Lignans support estrogen metabolism. 1 tablespoon almond butter. Healthy fats for hormone production. Half an avocado. More healthy fats plus fiber to stabilize blood sugar. 1 teaspoon maca powder. Adaptogen that supports hormone balance and energy. Handful of spinach. Magnesium and B vitamins. Pinch of cinnamon. Blood sugar regulation. Optional. 1 tablespoon hemp seeds for extra omega-3s and protein. Blend and drink every morning for 30 days. Watch what happens to your energy, mood, and clarity. Why this works? Hormones are made from cholesterol and amino acids. You literally cannot make hormones without adequate fat and protein. The adaptogens and nutrients support your adrenals, which are taking over hormone production, and help stabilize production during the transition. The fiber stabilizes blood sugar, which stabilizes insulin, which stabilizes cortisol, which allows your body to make sex hormones instead of stress hormones. This isn't a magic potion. This is strategic nutrition that gives your body what it needs. Solution number 2, the supplement protocol. Always check with your doctor before starting any supplement. I cannot stress this enough. Some supplements interact with medications. Some aren't appropriate for certain conditions. The following information, gather from doctors and searches public materials, is only a suggestion to empower you to discuss with a physician. But here's what the research shows can support hormonal transition. For estrogen support, black cohosh, 40 to 80 milligrams daily, may help reduce hot flashes and support mild estrogenic activity. Works for about 60% of women. Give it 6 to 8 weeks before deciding if it works. Red clover, 40 to 80 milligrams isoflavones daily. Contains phytoestrogens that gently support estrogen receptors without the risks of pharmaceutical estrogen. Donkey, 200 to 400 milligrams daily. Traditional Chinese herb for hormone balance. Supports circulation and may reduce hot flashes. For progesterone support, Vitex, also called chaseberry, 400 to 500 milligrams daily. Supports natural progesterone production by working on your pituitary gland. Takes 2 to 3 months to see effects. Best for perimenopause. Less effective after menopause. Magnesium glycinate, 300 to 400 milligrams before bed. Supports GABA production, which progesterone also supports. Helps with sleep, anxiety, and muscle relaxation. For testosterone support, DHEA, 10 to 25 milligrams daily for women. Precursor to testosterone. Can help restore energy, motivation, and libido. Must be monitored by a doctor. This is not optional. Start low. Test levels after 3 months. Maca root, 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams daily. Adaptogen that supports energy, libido, and mood without directly affecting hormones. Different colors of maca have different effects. Red for women is often recommended. For thyroid support during hormone transition, selenium, 200 micrograms daily, supports conversion of T4 to active T3. Also reduces thyroid antibodies if you have autoimmune thyroid issues. Zinc, 15 to 30 milligrams daily, also supports T4 to T3 conversion and supports immune function. L-tyrosine, 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily. Amino acid that's a building block for thyroid hormones. Take in the morning on an empty stomach. For overall hormone metabolism, DIM, or diindolylmethane, 100 to 200 milligrams daily, supports healthy estrogen metabolism. Helps your body process and eliminate estrogen properly so it doesn't get converted to harmful metabolites. Calcium D-glucarate, 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily, supports liver detoxification of hormones, prevents estrogen from being reabsorbed in your gut. For adrenal support, ashwagandha, 300 to 500 milligrams daily, adaptogen that supports stress response and adrenal function. Lowers cortisol. Take in the evening. Rhodiola, 200 to 400 milligrams daily. Another adaptogen that supports energy and stress resilience. Take in the morning. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams daily. Your adrenals need vitamin C to function. They have the highest concentration of vitamin C in your entire body. Pantothenic acid, also called B5, 500 milligrams daily, critical for adrenal hormone production. Licorice root, 300 to 500 milligrams daily. Supports adrenal function by extending the half-life of cortisol. Only use if you have low cortisol, not high. Can raise blood pressure, so monitor. Remember, start one at a time. Give it 4 to 6 weeks. Track how you feel. Work with the doctor who understands menopause. Get your levels tested before and after. Supplements are support, not replacement for good habits. Solution number 3, the hormone balancing lifestyle framework. Okay, supplements are great, but lifestyle is where the real magic happens. Here's your framework. Sleep. Non-negotiable, 7 to 8 hours. Why? Your hormones are produced during sleep. Growth hormone, melatonin, leptin, ghrelin, all regulated by sleep. Skip sleep, and no supplement will save you. Sleep deprivation alone can cause hormone imbalances. How? Follow the sleep sanctuary protocol from our previous video. Consistent bedtime, dark room, cool temperature, no screens after 9 p.m., strength training, 3 times per week minimum. Why? muscle tissue is metabolically active. It improves insulin sensitivity, supports testosterone production, and signals your body to maintain bone density as estrogen declines. Muscle is your metabolic currency. How? Focus on compound movements, squats, deadlifts, push-ups, rows. Lift heavy enough that the last 2 reps are hard. Stress management, daily practice. Why? Chronic stress steals pregnenolone and progesterone to make cortisol. They're made from the same precursor. If you're stressed all the time, you can't make progesterone, period. How? Box breathing, meditation, yoga, walking in nature, whatever actually calms your nervous system. Protein, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Why? Hormones are made from amino acids. You can't make hormones without adequate protein. Most women over 50 aren't eating enough. You need 25 to 30 grams per meal. How? Prioritize protein at every meal. Eggs, Greek yogurt, fish, chicken, grass-fed meat, protein powder. Healthy fats, every meal. Why? Hormones are made from cholesterol. If you're eating low-fat, you're literally starving your hormone production. Your brain is 60% fat. You need fat to think clearly. How? Avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, fatty fish, grass-fed butter, coconut oil. Blood sugar stability. Eat every 4 to 5 hours. Why? Blood sugar spikes trigger cortisol and insulin. Both interfere with sex hormone production and balance. Stable blood sugar equals stable hormones. How? Never eat carbs alone. Always pair with protein and fat. Don't skip meals. Eat within an hour of waking. This isn't about perfection. This is about giving your body what it needs to successfully transition hormone production from your ovaries to your whole body. Solution number 4. The doctor conversation. Most doctors mean well, but they're working with outdated information and 15-minute appointment slots. You need to advocate for yourself. Here's what you could discuss with your physician to feel more confident. A comprehensive hormone testing, including estradiol or E2 estrone or E1. If they can test it, progesterone. On day 21 of your cycle, if you're still cycling, total and free testosterone DHEA S cortisol. Ideally, a 4-point saliva test throughout the day, full thyroid panel. TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, TPO antibodies, TG antibodies, vitamin D, B12, and folate ferritin, which is iron storage, fasting insulin, and fasting glucose, hemoglobin, A1C. If your doctor says, "We don't need all that," or "insurance won't cover it," push back for your sake. These hormones all affect each other. A full picture to make informed decisions about your health. If you have possibility, it is a good decision even to pay out of pocket if insurance won't cover it. An option to get this done, you can find a functional medicine doctor or a menopause specialist. In order to take this seriously, look for NAMS certified menopause practitioners, functional medicine doctors, integrative medicine doctors, naturopathic doctors who work with conventional medicine. And when you get your labs back and fortunately you hear everything's normal, take action and look at the actual numbers. Compare them to optimal ranges, not just lab ranges. Solution number 5, the identity reclamation practice. Remember, you're not just hormone imbalanced. You're still you. Here's how to remember that. Every week, do one thing that has nothing to do with menopause. Something that reminds you who you are beyond this transition. Maybe it's taking a class in something you've always wanted to learn. Pottery, photography, a new language, coding, reconnecting with a hobby you abandoned, that instrument you used to play, that craft you used to love, that sport you gave up, calling a friend and talking about literally anything except hormones, books, movies, politics, dreams, memories, anything. Reading a book that has nothing to do with health, fiction, history, biography, poetry, whatever feeds your soul, creating something, art, music, writing, gardening, cooking, whatever lets you express yourself, volunteering for a cause you care about, using your skills and wisdom to make a difference. You need to feed the parts of yourself that exist beyond this transition. Because yes, menopause is happening. Yes, hormones are shifting. Yes, your body is changing. But you are not only that. You're also someone with interests, passions, relationships, dreams, humor, creativity, wisdom, skills, experiences, stories. Don't let menopause become your entire identity. It's something you're going through, not something you are. You are not a diagnosis. You are not a lab report. You are not a collection of symptoms. You are a whole, complete, complex human being in the middle of a transformation. The bigger truth. Now, here's what I need you to understand. The medical establishment has failed women during menopause. They've reduced us to hormone levels on a lab report. They've pathologized a natural transition. They've dismissed our symptoms and minimized our experiences. They've told us we're just getting old. They've prescribed antidepressants when what we needed was progesterone. They've said, that's normal for your age, when what we needed was acknowledgement and support. But medicine is changing, and an integrated perspective is becoming more common. Find the right professional to support you. Rewrite your history and say to yourself, no, I'm not deficient. I'm transitioning. And I'm going to support my body through this transition with knowledge, tools, and community. That's what the Phoenix community is about. We're not accepting the old narrative. We're creating a new one where menopause is a transformation, not a tragedy. One where we support each other instead of suffering alone. One where we rise together. Because here's what I know. When women understand what's actually happening in their bodies, when they have the right tools, when they have community, they don't just survive menopause. They thrive through it. They come out the other side more powerful, more clear, more themselves than they've ever been. That's the truth they don't tell you. That this transition, as hard as it is preparing you for the most powerful phase of your life. Which of these 5 solutions are you starting with? The hormone support smoothie, the supplement protocol, the lifestyle framework, the doctor conversation, the identity practice? Go to the comments and tell me. Tell the other Phoenixes what you're committing to. And tell me, What's the most frustrating thing you've heard from a professional about your hormones? What made you feel dismissed or minimized? What made you feel like you weren't being heard? Because when you share your story, you validate another woman's experience. You help her feel less alone. You give her courage to advocate for herself. That's the power of this community. Hit that like button if this gave you a completely new perspective on hormones. Subscribe to join the Phoenix community where we're rewriting the menopause narrative together. Share this with one woman who needs to hear that she's not broken. She's transitioning. And here's the thing. If you found this valuable, if this helped you understand something you've been confused about, if this gave you hope, your support helps us create more content like this. Consider becoming a channel member. Your support allows us to keep creating in-depth, science-backed content that actually helps women navigate this transition with knowledge and power. Hey Phoenix, if you couldn't do it today, just do it tomorrow, but do not give up. Failure is not an option. You're not hormone imbalanced. You're not deficient. You're not broken. You're in the middle of the most profound biological reorganization of your adult life. And on the other side, you're going to be more powerful than you've ever been, more clear, more grounded, more you. The Phoenix community is here. We're rising together. See you in the next video. And hey, thanks for making us company. And remember to take care of yourself.